will be telling you about Python tutorial, and myself is Ms. Survi Sarova. First of all, what is Python? Python is a popular programming language. It was created by Udo van Rossum and released in 1991. It is used for web development, that is server side, and server side means there are basically two types. One is server side and another is client side. So client side means the what we use on our system. We are the clients and we are sending the request to the server. So we send the request to the server and the server responds to our request. So this is Python is a server side language. So software development, mathematics, and it is used in system scripting. Now, what can Python do? Now, Python can be used on a server to create web applications. Python can be used alongside software to create workflows. Python can connect to database system. It can also read and modify files. Python can be used to handle big data and perform complex mathematics. Python can be used for rapid prototyping or for production-ready software developments. Now, why Python? Python works on different platforms. Different platform means it can work on Windows, Mac, Linux, Raspberry Pi, and many others as well. It's a platform-independent language. So, Python has a simple syntax similar to English language. So, it has a very simple syntax, just like the English language. Python has syntax that allows developers to write programs and fewer lines than some other programming language. So, just in a fewer lines, your program is being executed. So Python runs on a interpreter system, meaning that code can be executed as soon as it's written. This means that prototyping can be very quick. So Python, as you write the code, it executes there and then. So Python can be treated in a procedural way, an object-oriented way, or a functional way. So both ways it can be treated as object-oriented. OOPS, you already know. OOPS means we have different features of OOPS, that is object-oriented programming language. We have encapsulation, data hiding, and many others. Like we have inheritance. So the OOPS features are also included, and it can be a functional way too. So next is very important, that is Python indentation. Now, what do you mean by Python indentation? Indentation refers to the spaces at the beginning of a code line. So see in the end the example. This is how it should be indented. So this is very important. The spaces are very important. If I write an if statement here, then print statement should start with this space given to it. Otherwise the error will come. So where in other programming language the indentation in code is for readability only, the indentation is Python is very important. So in this indentation is very important. The spacing is very important. Python uses indentation to include a block of code. So this is very important. If you don't write the indentation properly, then an error message will come and it will not compile. So Python will give you an error if you skip the indentation, like this in the example. Like if I don't start with the space here, it will give an error. Then Python variables. This is very important. What are Python variables? In Python, variables are created when we assign a value to it. Like example, variables in Python, x equals to 5. So you don't have to write in other language as we write int x equals to 5. So this is not necessary in Python. You just write x equals to 5. It's by default integer type. And Python knows that. Y equals to hello world, it's string type, and Python knows that. So Python has no command for declaring a variable. So it has no command. Like it didn't specify the data types. Coming to the comments part now, Python comments are written with the hash sign. So Python has commenting capabilities for the purpose of inline code documentation. Comment starts with hash sign and Python will render the rest of the lines as a comment. So just an example. So here is a comment, single line comment, and then you write this. Fine. Now coming to the multi-line comments, Python does not really have a syntax for a multi-line comment, but we can like hash sign like this way, multiple in every line, so it takes the whole line as comment. Or not quite an indent. You can multi-line commit. One more way is of writing triple quotes. So it's a multi-line string and it is treated as a commit. So this is also one of the way to write comments in Python.